Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another weekend update video. And this weekend, I'm coming to you from frigid cold southeast Kansas, where we are rocking about a -2 on the temperature scale, wind chill about -30 or so. It's really dang cold, and importantly, we've got Monday and Tuesday off of school, so an extended weekend for me this weekend, and I really needed it. It's NFL playoff weekend. I'm behind on content creation. There is a lot for me to do, and I could just sleep a little bit, which will always be nice. Now, in this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about War of the Visions. Specifically, you can see we're in a matchup with our sister guild Salt today, but I also want to talk a little bit about raiding. And like, look, you're going to be, I'm almost embarrassed to show this, but my current raid level is what, 11? Yeah, we're at raid level 11. I have not found the energy, the caring to even mess with the raid this week. I have loved how more and more of War of the Visions has gone to like auto. You can background farm it. You just optimize a team once and you can run it. Raiding, I either have to like use a macro, which means I have to set that up. That either takes my phone away from me or my computer away from me, or I have to sit here and like click a bunch of buttons. Hey, like mobile games in 2024 have a place in my life, and that place is short bursts of me carrying a whole lot, followed by background farming and Trials of Reckoning. Hey, they sorted that out. It's all background farming now. It was beautiful. We need to fix that for raids. Like, I will take advantage of having a couple days off of school and finish this dang raid, but let me just say I'm not super excited about it. And this is one of the last holdovers of kind of like that older version of War of the Visions, where like they kind of expected, I think, the game to be more manually played than it was, but they've embraced the fact that most people want to auto things, especially PvE. And since manual PvE just is only, in my opinion, really fun on like high scoring and things, like guild raid manual PvE is great. Regular raid, let me auto this. Give me some way of autoing this. Please. So anyway, it's kind of just a bother. That's the one thing I've got to complain about with War of the Visions. Otherwise, the game's kind of trucking along nicely. I'm really hoping that this update this coming week, we get the special shop to refresh, 3 times the discount packs. We've had that for 2 or 3 months in a row now, and that's something I could definitely get used to dealing with. And then let's go ahead and do a little shout casting here today. We're in a matchup with our sister guild, Salt. I'm gonna swing at somebody here, throw my mage team against their mage wall. Not like I'm giving away any, big time secrets they have here. Let's fight the Addison Ray team, Lirel. Addison Ray always scares me, right? Like, this is a chick. She's always, I don't know, like, she's not new, and so we'll see. She's gonna bebop Instagram her way to a victory here, and I almost always wipe when I'm streaming Guild Wars. This mage team I'm running has done very good consistently for a long time, but unless I'm live or unless I'm recording a video, so we'll see how that goes. As far as War of the Visions and as far as gacha gaming in general, I've caught back up on my my Honkai Star Rail account. I basically played through all the content, and it was really fun, and I loved it, and now I'm putting that back on the back burner again. I'm hoping that I can give Star Rail a few more weeks to kind of keep progressing, and then I'll jump back in there. Let's turn ability effects on. If we're only gonna watch one fight today, let's watch it with ability effects. Anyway, I'll let some more stuff come out, and then hopefully I'm feeling like I can once again continue that account instead of starting over a new account. I did spend a little bit of money on that Star Rail account, so it's something I'd like to stay invested in, and it's something I probably will stay invested in. With Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, I've enjoyed the commitment level that I have to that game, where when some new content comes out, I'll just come push through that, kind of experience the game again, and then just back off and just let things happen. I feel like that's a good place to be. I really only have time in my life to play one gacha game seriously, and that's War of the Visions right now, as we inflict doom on Helena. There's a very small chance that that doom actually is allowed to tick down. She's at 3 charges of it now. Like, I almost hope it doesn't tick down, because that means they're still in here fighting. That was a clutch sleep, by the way. That sleep that just landed on Stern right there, he denied him a turn, and then Vivi took him down with Re-Raise move. That was a clutch sleep. Now, here's Bebop, Addison Ray Instagram, she gets all the likes. Let's see here. She does kill Roth. Now, Roth does have re-raise, so she'll come back. She lands the slow on my Helena, which might have allowed their Helena to go first. Double sleep. We have the re-raise on our Helena still, so that works out nicely. I think that sleep was a little bit devastating because, you know, it's like, uh-oh, we're going to miss a turn. But since re-raise happens, that is a benefit of re-raise over courage, is that, like, okay, so perfect example. Their Helena had courage popped, but because of that, the stun will trigger, and so she'll miss a turn. Then she gets slept. It does the same thing my Addison Rae did, comes back to life, but we get the Magic Buster, instant cast slash attack from Vivi right there. We get the 3 stars. That's a level 139 Addison Rae and 2 light units. So mono light mage team there with a stern built in. We get our 3 stars, then I'm not going to like yeet my second attack into anything. I'll just be cool with getting my 3 today. In the, you know, whenever you're playing a rival guild, you want to make sure to get those stars. So anyway, that's kind of my gacha life update. I'm just enjoying the more laid back flow. Like, definitely playing War of the Visions the hardest out of any gacha games. There's not a gacha game coming out that I'm like super excited for. Zenless Zone Zero will be great, but I don't know if I'd like a Hoyo-verse content creator. I understand what it takes to be one. I just don't know if I have that in me. We'll see. We'll see how that flows when I'm coming out. Now, I did want to announce something about Friday Night Fights and a return of Friday Night Fights this year. As far as the official PvP tournaments go, I have heard nothing. And when it comes to hearing nothing, I'm assuming that means maybe we're not going to have them. Like, I'll wait for an official word on that, but I haven't received like an offer to do official PvP tournaments again. I've just heard nothing, and it's New Year, so I'll give Square Enix some time to like sit on it and think about it. But this is a year 4 gacha game. I don't know how they viewed the return on investment from the official PvP tournaments. In my opinion, it kept some of the most hardcore players in the game. Some of the people who spent money were like pushing the meta. It kept them playing and it kept them interested, and I think that's really important. So I want to keep, like, for my own sake, because I like doing the shoutcasting, it's my favorite content to produce, and for the sake of this game, I want to make sure there is a tournament scene that I'm involved in this year. If there's not going to be an official tournament scene, which, you know, I've heard nothing, but nothing means that they're not. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not. Let me just say that. I'll just bring Friday Night Fights back. With my wife's current work schedule, she works every other Friday night, which means we could not do Friday Night Fights every week, but we could do an alternating week version of the game or version of the tournaments. I just need to figure out exactly what the format is. We have the ability to customize our maps a little bit more than we did the last time we had Friday Night Fights, so that opens up the door for some more things we can do. I'm excited. If I have to get back into it, I will get like kind of my old mod team back together that we used to run. I know they've been, you know, clamoring at the bit to get things going again. Those are my favorite live streams, and if that's what we have to do instead of official PvP tournaments, that's what we'll do. We will just let War of the Visions be carried by unofficial PvP streams if the game is not going to like embrace them itself. It is what it is. Now, I did want to talk about some other gaming things as I do on these. There are a couple games coming out soon, not mobile games, that I'm really looking forward to playing. Right now, guys, I'm in Act 3 of Baldur's Gate Honor Mode run. That is some of the most fun I've had in gaming in forever. That game deserved Game of the Year, absolutely. And I love honor mode game types. Like, if I die, I have to start over, which makes me just really think about everything I do. It's really immersive, and I hope I can beat it. I'm into Act 3. If you've played the game, I'm like at Baldur's Gate, just starting it, but my characters are pushing level 11. 12's the max, so I'm almost full build, and it's really cool to play a game like that and live with the choices you make. There's some characters that I've saved. There's some characters that I haven't saved. There's some dead people that I wish weren't dead. But you know what? There's no save scumming in honor mode, and it just makes it such a like pure feeling playthrough. I just hope I don't die. I just hope I don't die. And I know if I do die, I can, you know, like just keep playing on the hardest difficulty, and maybe I'll do that, but I anticipate having that done within a week or two. Then there are other games that are coming out that I'm very excited for. One of them is Unicorn Overlord. This game just looks right up my alley, and if you're a War of the Visions player, I feel like this is a game that will just scratch a lot of our itches. Now, I have not pre-ordered this or anything yet, but given me those, like the art style is very Valkyrie profile, but no, Valkyria Chronicles. There was a game for the PlayStation 2 back in the day, where it was a side-scrolling fighter game, and this was the art style. This looks to be that same style, but it's not like a side-scrolling fighter game. You see it's a tactical-based game. I haven't looked into this a ton, but everything I've seen for it, I know Macidius talking about it. This is a game I want to play. I'll get more info, get deeper on it when it's closer to coming out. It's a March 8th, 2024 release date, so I got a month and a half. You know, there's time. There's middle of January, we got all of February, about 2 months till this comes out. Then Persona 3 Reloaded. This thing's been on my radar since they talked about it. And Persona 3 was the first Persona game I ever played. It's the one that got me into the series. I never beat it. I tried, like, I was a kid when I played it. It was back on the PlayStation. And so, you know, slow load times, very unforgiving gameplay for a kid, but it definitely, you know, bridged me into Persona 4, and then Persona 5 Royal is like one of my top 5 games of all time. I'm super excited for this remake. I'm gonna beat it. This is gonna be, I hope this is just everything that I want in a remake of an old RPG. And that's what I'm talking about. When you might have heard me say a couple of times, you know, maybe in this video earlier, maybe on stream, that we're living in this really cool age of RPGs. There are occasional gems that come out, like new games. Baldur's Gate 3, classic example. It's a new game. It's a Western RPG, which, you know, I tend to like JRPGs better, but it's a Western RPG, and it is a home run. I can tell it took forever to make, and even it, when it came out, was not perfect. It's still not perfect now, but they basically got Acts 1 and 2 lined out correctly. Act 3 I've heard is a little rushed. I'm just experiencing it for the first time. So it takes a lot to make a, like, you know, a top tier new RPG. So a lot of them aren't very good. Like, a lot of corners are cut and a lot of them aren't very good. Diablo 4 with monetization problems, all of those things. But there are still gems out there. Then there are lower budget, like, indie games that are really good. Typically speaking, I don't get super into those, but there's some real home runs out there. Hades is a game that I thought was just amazing a couple years ago. But my favorite part of the current iteration of the RPG and JRPG world is things like this. It's things like this. Like, give me remakes of games that I loved as a kid, keep the game the same, but modernize the graphics, modernize the quality of life bits of it, and then just let me play the game again and make it look beautiful. Like, that's what I'm hoping Persona 3 Reloaded is. That's what I'm hoping Final Fantasy 9 remake is. I've heard whispers of Final Fantasy 8 and 10 remakes. Just give them to me. Just give them to me. And I don't hate what they're doing with the Final Fantasy 7 remake, but it's like, I would rather have just played the game again. And I'm going to play Final Fantasy 7, you know, the second remake, of course. Like, every Final Fantasy fan is going to play that game. And I'm going to like it. I really like the first version of that game. Ever Crisis has kept me, like, involved in the Final Fantasy 7 franchise. But I feel like there's just, like, too much milking of FF7 at this point. I would rather have what I'm just really hoping for, maybe announced this year, is Final Fantasy 9 Remake. Here it is. It's coming out like 1st of 2025. I would love to see that. Then I hope Persona 3 Remake leads to a Persona 4 Remake someday. And then let's hit those old classic JRPGs, your Legends of Dragoon, your Legends of Legaia. If it's possible to just remake all of those in modern graphics, you will make money, developers. Then the crowning jewel of Final Fantasy remakes would be a Final Fantasy Tactics remake. So there you go. That's kind of my thoughts. That's what I'm thinking about in the gaming world this weekend. And so there it is. I'm gonna call it a day. Go pick up my son from my grandma's house. She was kind enough to watch him while I film this. We're gonna have a little dinner, watch some playoff football. My Eagles don't play till tomorrow night, and my confidence in that team is shaky. At least my Chiefs won. Like, I got an AFC team and an NFC team. My AFC team looked good, but the Dolphins are frauds, and the Dolphins playing in -degree weather is just, the Chiefs were always probably going to win that game. The Eagles, they either were just, I don't know, faking being bad for the last month and a half, and now they're going to all of a sudden be good again, or their coach is going to get fired. They're going to get beat by the Bucks in the first round, and it's going to be an interesting offseason. We'll see. We'll know tomorrow. I love playoff football. This is my favorite football weekend of the year because you have all these playoff games, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I got this feeling in my gut, and it's not that good feeling. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.